my dance, make it hurt.
Hello and welcome to Project Passion, a podcast made to inspire you to follow your passion and turn it into a successful business or career. My name is Johnny Thompson. I own a digital marketing agency based here in the UK. And every week I bring different guests onto this podcast who are out there being successful, trying to achieve their dreams by going with their passion and trying to develop that into business or a career. And bring people on every week to talk about that, to share their tips, share their story, and hopefully help you guys as well. First of all, everyone out there, if you're watching this, that means you sitting there watching this, over 84% of you who watch the videos are not subscribed. So real quick, hit the button, done. You won't have to worry about it again. But anyway, this week we have Craig Cooney on the show. Craig is a hip hop artist from Dublin, Ireland, signed with FlutterTone. And Craig's on to talk about his story and talk about his new track, December, that is coming out this week. How's it going, Craig?
Hi, how you doing, Johnny? Thanks so much for having me here.
No problem, man. I appreciate you coming on. As always, I know I've been saying for a while we were going to get you on, but we kind of held it off till now with the new track coming out. How's it been going for you recently? How are you getting on?
Man, it's been great. As strange as the times are, you know, we have a really, really good team there, and everybody's just more involved than ever, and it's just great to see everybody working so well. I'm really, 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 really excited for the release because the production has just been massive. So really, really looking forward to that now and seeing what the public think of it.
Nice. So do you want to explain to people who maybe haven't heard your name or haven't seen me share you on my story because you're there a lot? Do you want to kind of explain to people who you are and what it is you do?
Yeah, so I'm Craig Cooney. I'm a 26-year-old hip hop artist. I'm originally from Kildare. I'm living in Dublin, and yeah, I like to write feel good music, I suppose. And I'm a hip hop artist. I'm fairly good at freestyling. For those of you that don't know, that would be rapping off the top of your head, completely improvisation, usually about the things around you and stuff like that. But yeah, I just said I'd give songwriting a go, and it's been working out really well. So that's a little bit about myself there.
Oh, nice. So how did you actually get started? Because obviously rapping on hip hop isn't exactly the most Irish genre you could have went into. How did you get started in that?
Like, if I told you where I was from, you would even say where I'm from. Hip hop is just no.
Yeah.
It's the smallest village in Ireland. Like, but how it happened was, you see, I always thought everybody could freestyle. I never really wrote songs, but I used to always freestyle just to myself in my head. If I seen a sign or if somebody said something, and you know, I just do that, and that was grand. And then there's kind of two stories I have to tell here, because my mom takes credit for the music, because she said when I was born premature, and when I was in the incubator, she requested that the nurses put on music for me because there was no music. So she says that, you know, it was her. But then what I can remember is only a few years ago, it was myself and my partner Amy. We were having a few drinks, and even she didn't know I could freestyle to the extent that I could. And we're together. We're together 13 years this year. Like, I'm just a really, really shy person, and I just decided to stick on a beat, and you know, I had a bit of liquid courage in me, so we stuck on a beat, and she recorded it, and we uploaded it to Facebook. And like, again, like, she was just blown away by it, and I think within say 2 or 3 weeks we had over 187,000 views on the video. Like, and that, to me, then I was like, right, okay, maybe not everybody can do this. What if I do write a song sober? You know, because I made that one up drunk off the top of my head. So that's just the approach we took, and it's worked out. Like, you know, I got contacted by a lot of good people who are still friends to this day, who helped me out through seeing that video, you know.
Did you have an idea? Obviously, you know, this has obviously been more recent. What was your career path that you had in mind when you were a kid and when you were growing up? What were you actually aiming to be doing?
When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a professional golfer, definitely. Yeah, I was a really good golfer when I was young. I used to play a lot with my dad. Um, and we won a lot of competitions and stuff. But I think just as I got older and started, just experiencing being a teenager, and I'd still go and play golf, but then it just kind of faded out,
Yeah,
and I I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to play golf. And I don't know really like that was my dream. I wanted to be a professional golfer. Um, but yeah, never was music, surprisingly. I've always had a massive interest, always have. Um, but never thought it would be me. Like I'd gladly listen to any genre, any style. I'd support a lot of musicians and stuff like that, but I never thought it would actually be me. I think
yeah.
that video and seeing the success that that video got, that kind of decided my fate for me. Like I was like, look, I'm gonna have to give it a shot. Like,
Of course. And I think anyone that listens to your songs will know obviously your songs are hip hop, but they're also very wholesome and they're very lyrical and for the
yeah,
most part very clean. There's very little to no swear words. It's always clean lyrics. Do you
yeah.
want to kind of explain the thought process of why you went that way? What was your sort of goal going that direction?
I don't know. It kind of happened naturally. My earlier releases, are a bit more, out there and fast and hard and bad language and stuff. But I'm a father of well, was two up until last week. Father of three now.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. But yeah, I knew my kids were going to be listening, and I want to show my kids that look, you can do what you want to do in life and have fun doing it. And I don't want to be like, hey, listen to dad's song, and I'm like cursing like there's no tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So a lot of my lyrics, yeah, they're based on personal experiences and stuff like that, but I would be like I know at the end of the whole songwriting process, I know my kids are going to be listening, and I want them to listen and be like, yeah, that's my dad. And you know I've gotten that many a times. Like it's great because there's times where they have their friends over after school, and I'll walk in from work and they'll be watching me on YouTube already, like I'll be like, that's my dad, like and it's really nice. And I think it just makes it more universal as well and more enjoyable that parents can enjoy my music with their children, and not have to worry about any lyrics popping up here and there, and I'm not rapping about you know bad things or degrading certain people and stuff like that.
of course. So, would you say you've had any changes from when you started? Obviously, from that video, how you kind of changed your mindset and your approach to your music between then and now?
Yeah, definitely have. My music, I like every other rapper. When I started off, I was like, I'm the best rapper. You know what I mean? And um, you just generic, boring lyrics. And then I wanted to just open up and let people know who I was, not only as an artist, but just as a human being.
Yeah.
Um, and I started doing that through my songs, and people have. I've written songs for my own reasons, and people have reached out and said, it's hit home with them for different reasons, which is a major bonus to me. It's absolutely amazing that people
Mhm.
can listen to it and relate. But yeah, I think at the very start, I was out to impress a lot of people. I was like, I want to be the best. Oh, what will these think? What will these people think? And then it was kind of like, right, I want to do this for, just myself, and which is fine. And once I like the music I'm making, I'm happy. But now it's like, okay, I want to do this for me, but I want to do it for my kids as well. And just to show them, like I have friends who give up on their dreams because they have a little bit of a busy schedule. And I just, me personally, I believe that you can balance everything. You just have to train your brain to do so. Like, and there's not many rappers out there, with a job and three kids and doing music as well. It is tough, but you just have to condition yourself, and you learn to adapt and grow. And before you know it, then like it's just second nature, and it's part of your daily routine, just like eating food is. And you just break up the day and do what you do. Like I generally do music when my kids are asleep, anyways.
Yeah.
So it doesn't interfere with family life.
Yeah. That's such a trend between sort of all people who are chasing a dream or chasing a goal is you have to make the time. Like you have to be working a job, dealing with a family, and you find the time to make sure you can
Exactly.
achieve the goal. Otherwise, you just don't want it that
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. Yeah. And I always say that to myself is how much do I want this? Because there's days where I'm totally exhausted and I'll come home from work and I'll literally, after working a 12-hour day, I'll stay home for an hour, have my dinner, get changed, and I'm gone to the studio for another 7 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll get 3 hours, 4 hours sleep, but I know it's what I need to do in order to get where I want to be. And, you know, success is never easy. And, you know, if you're willing to go all in and really, in a sense, bully yourself, you know, you will reap the rewards at the end. And it's the whole, you know, this is the journey. You have to put in the work now. It's not going to be handed to you, and no one else is going to do it for you, only you. So yeah, I've just kind of learned to kind of get that mentality over the last maybe year or so. My partner is very good in that sense. If I'm slacking, there was a time where I was playing the PlayStation and she'd literally walk in, she'd just turn off the PlayStation. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, you need to write songs. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can't even argue because she means well. And if there's days where I feel like I'm slacking, I'm like, Amy, make sure you tell me to do music tomorrow. And she will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's really, really good. And you know, as they say, behind every great man is an even greater woman. And that's facts, like, you know, because without her, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. She's brutal with criticism, which is great for me, but
Yeah.
she's incredibly honest, which is class. So yeah, definitely,
That's awesome,
definitely
man.
in that sense.
What was then? Obviously, there's got to be a lot of things you had to learn along the way. But what was like the biggest shock for you, taking it from just like putting a video out there to actually trying to take this to the next level?
The biggest shock for me was when I signed with Column and I seen how to really implement that business background and utilize what you know and what you can learn and use that to really get your music out there. And there's so many artists to this day making this mistake is they write, they record, they upload, and that's it. And you know, I was like that. I'm guilty of that myself. But Colin has really showed me that you know there are stages, and it is a process, and you will get the best for your work if you follow these
Hmm.
steps. And it's not like, oh, Colin, I think I'm right. He knows, and he knows these work, and I've seen them work, and it's really, really, really great, like to have
Yeah.
these plans in place to really get the best of your music, like.
And for people listening, anyone that's been around from the beginning of the actual podcast, Colm has actually been on the podcast. That's FlutterTone. Do you want to actually explain that how that came about for you? Obviously, that's Colm at FlutterTone over in Dublin. Do you want to explain sort of what the relationship is there for you and sort of how that came about to come to fruition?
Yeah, like so how it came about was I'm not in the scene long. And when I started off and I made my music page and I was networking with people, um I was rooting around to see was there any gigs or open mic nights, and no matter where I looked, all I seen was FlutterTone, and I was like, "Who or what the hell is FlutterTone?" Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I messaged and I was like, "Hey, I see you do open mic nights. Can I come along?" And we got a reply a couple of hours later. It was like, "Yeah, of course, we'd love to have you down." And I actually didn't even go because of work. Um, but then down the line, I got a message off him saying, "I have a support slot for Shy Mascot in the Sound House if you want it." And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be class." So I took that, and that was deadly. That was a bit of crack, and then we kept in touch then for a couple of weeks after, and we were kind of hinting the idea at each other, but no one was really biting the bait and saying anything. So we were kind of baiting around the bush for a while, and then he just asked me to pop into the city then for a meeting, and we sat down and we talked plans, and that's when he said, "Hey, look, I'm willing to manage you. Your head screwed on your shoulders. I think you're a really good artist." I felt the same about him with everything he was doing, and since then, yeah, it's been working out really well. And he's just a really, really, really good lad, and we have really, really similar mindsets. And if he doesn't think of something, I will, and if I don't think of something, he will. So we work so well together. Like it's great. Like
Was that the first sort of music manager that had approached you, or was just the first one that you actually kind of vibed with and wanted to go with?
I've had maybe one or two prior to that, just hint the idea, but nothing ever really came of it. I was told if you're not signed by this time next year, I'll take you on type of thing.
Yeah.
Once or twice. But yeah, it was never really something I focused on. I always thought like, oh, I'm just making music, it's just a bit of crack, like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And obviously when Colin approached me and told me what's possible, when people come together, I was very interested then. So yeah, no, never really thought about actually being managed,
Hmm.
and how it works. But obviously, I understand now, and it's great. I would recommend it to any artist. It just really, really, really helps.
Yeah.
Get yourself out there, like.
And obviously, like, you guys aren't just out here recording a song, putting it to a beat and putting it out on SoundCloud. Every song you release is a big operation. There's people involved. It gets mixed, mastered. I mean, you record in Windmill Hills, Windmill Lane Studios. You spend a lot of time there. How's that all sort of been for you? I assume that's obviously really enjoyable. Obviously being in this scene a short time.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's been amazing. Like it's such a reputable studio. It's some of my favorite artists have recorded in that studio, and the cool thing was there's three studios in there, and I've actually recorded in all three now. So like the first day where I went in, I was like, oh, which one did 50 Cent record in? Like, and they're like, oh, this one, and I'm like, what? So but yeah, no, it's class, man. It's just knowing you can feel the energy when you walk through the doors,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, and you have to give it your all because your idols were sat on that chair or they were stood in front of that mic, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And it's just as motivated as I am, it really, really, really amplifies that and pushes you to just give it your all, like.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So obviously, your last track that was released, what was that like for you?
So yeah, like again, it's crazy. Like Colin really opened my eyes to all that, and it's, you know, I don't want to go off topic here, but I do feel I need to say it is a lot of people, I see on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook, and they're in the studio with the headphones on and they put up grinding or working, you know what I mean? And like me personally, that's the fun part,
Yeah.
and the grind is promoting your music and staying up late and writing emails and contacting bloggers, radio stations, artwork, videos, ads. Like it's crazy. I could be here for a week listing off the things that you have to do if you want to get your music out there professionally and to come in front of the right ears and stuff.
Mhm.
um and don't get me wrong, some people can just make a song, drop it, and boom, they're lucky and they're very fortunate in that sense. But if you do, and if that doesn't work for you, you have to stay up late and you have to send emails and work on your press kit. You have to update your photos
Yeah.
and keep your socials nice and fresh.
Mhm.
Contact bloggers, radio stations, and you need to be prepared for no replies or sorry, I can't do that. But don't ever, ever, ever let it knock you. Like you could contact 50 people and you could get five people replying, and only one person will actually play it. But
Mhm.
you need to focus on that one instead of the 49 who don't, and look at that one positive and say, look, hey, I do have this one person. I find um, a lot of people, now I used to really compare myself to other artists
Yeah.
and I'd focus on what they were doing. And if they were doing something great, I'd really knock myself down. I'm in a good mindset now where I just know everybody's doing their own thing. Life is not a race. It's to be enjoyed. But just for any other artist out there, is just don't focus on anybody else. Focus on yourself. If you don't get a reply or you don't get your song out and played, don't give up. Try again with the next release. Ask yourself, what did I do on this release and what can I do on this one? And it's just a process of elimination, and then you'll eventually know what you do have to do in order to get where you want to be. Like,
Of course. And obviously, anyone that follows me, you'll have seen that I now work with FlutterTone, I work with Craig now, so I can confirm how hard these boys work, how much grind they actually put in just to making each one of these tracks such a success as they are.
yeah, there's a big team involved. Even for this new track, this
Yeah.
new track that's coming out, and um, it's probably the biggest team that I've worked with myself. I'm not sure about you, Johnny, but it's class even to have you on board. And again, Colin showed me what he can do, and to have you on board and show us what you can do. Me and Colin were like, this is a whole new world. Like, you know what I mean? And it just goes to show though, when great people come together, you can really, almost look at it as pillars. Everybody's a pillar, and we're just building a really nice building, But yeah, I have to give a big shout out to everybody. I actually have a list in front of me because there's
Yeah.
so many. But there's yourself, Johnny. Thank you so much for all your work you've been doing.
It's all good.
I know you're keeping me in the loop like every day. And if anybody's looking to get any work, promo, ads, stuff like that, Johnny is your guy for marketing. Dara Abduram, he's the guys. There's a couple of guys out of the band who helped with the instruments, which was amazing. So there was Aaron and Adam, Arcada Music, Rowlette, who's Sarah, Rihanna for the pictures, Kevin again, music, Cormac Kavanagh recorded the whole thing, Colin for making it all happen. He's the magic man. Kieran Casey, he's working on a little something for us as well. And that's myself. Yeah, but we have like 11 people involved, and that's not everybody. I know that's not everybody. So if I did forget anybody, I really do apologize. Because it's just mad to think that one song can have so many people involved, and it's gonna be so good. I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward.
And of course, this is your new track, December, coming out on the 25th of November here. Do you want to break down for people, just tell people what this is, and what your message you're trying to get out with the song?
Yeah, like it's different. And I don't want to give too much away, but
Yeah.
it's very different. It still has, for any fans of my music, it still has that Craig Cooney sound. But it's different, and I'm a big Christmas geek. Like, I love Christmas. Obviously with the year we've had, it's been absolutely crap. But to give you a taste, my verses are kind of like I don't know if you ever seen the movie with Ebenezer Scrooge, Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
and by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, and that's kind of the idea of what I wrote my verses on, was the past, present, and future. So I'm hoping people enjoy it as much as I did, because I feel I really kind of spoke
Mhm.
about what my perception was, and I hope people can even relate to new things, and they can pluck certain things from it. It's
Yeah.
quite emotional song, like, but it's as uplifting as it is emotional. It's nice. It almost takes you on a journey for the 3 minutes, like, you
Cool.
know.
And I think we actually have a clip off it that we'll drop in right here for anyone.
Merry Christmas. They call it the present, cause this moment's a gift, and we won't take this time for granted. Here to grow up and live.
For anyone that's just hearing that now and thinking that's a song you want to hear, when you're hearing this podcast, 4 hours after this podcast releases, this track is going live. So you don't even have to wait too long. If this is the first night the podcast released, just look out in a couple of hours. This track, the link will be in the description down below. Go down, hit the link, and go across and listen to the full track. Any other time you listen to it, no excuses. Go hit the fucking link and go and check it out.
Live, yeah.
It will be live.
Yeah.
And obviously, we need to mention Roulette, who was on the song with you.
Yeah. Amazing singer. Like, she's my number one played artist in Spotify. When I go on Spotify, like, she's right there. Like, and I'm just obsessed with her singing, her songwriting, just everything. She's just amazing. And to when Colin gave me the call to say, look, Sarah wants to work with you, I was like, what? Like, this is amazing. Like, and then like, I was like, oh, do I reach out on Instagram? Do I talk about, what are we going to work on together? But Colin obviously sorted out all that. And then even like when we got to the recording studio then to record it, like, um, she was recording and I'm just like looking through the glass, like, no, seriously, her voice is just amazing. And now I have Amy listening to her music all the time. My parents were listening to her music the other day. Like, I'm just like, no, you need to check out Roulette. So for anybody watching, you need to check out Roulette. Um,
Exactly.
she's really, really, really good. I cannot say one bad thing about her. She's an absolute pleasure to work with. Incredible songwriter. Just a lovely, lovely, lovely human being in general. Um, so definitely check her out and support her.
And obviously, guys, Craig's links will all be in the description. If you go check his Instagram out, you guys looked like you were having some fun in the promotion for this. So it wasn't just the music side of it when you were done your Christmas photo shoot.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I don't know if they're gonna kill me for saying this, but we were in a public park when we were doing the photo shoot, and there was like people walking by, and I'm just there with like Christmas lights all over me, a Christmas jumper and an elf hat, and like little girls were like, "Dad, look at that man!" And I'm just standing in front of a tree, like, and even Colin was poking jokes at me. He's like, "Oh yeah." Like, you don't look much like a rapper now, Craig, do you? Like, so we have a couple of shots where I'm actually like, trying to
Thanks to.
trying to get my cool back. But yeah, no, it was a really fun shoot. I was just I'm an awkward weirdo at photo shoots, man. Like, I'm like, Rihanna, she's so good and she has the patience of a saint. Check out Sniper photography on Instagram. But yeah, so I've worked with her a lot now, and we just have that relationship. But if I was with any other photographer, I'm like, Rihanna, what do I do with my hands, or where will I look? Like, I'm just stuck in the mud, stiff, like, And she's like, Craig, relax, like, and I'm like, right, okay. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, the photos would have been a lot different, and I know that for a fact.
And no music video for this one.
No, unfortunately not because of COVID, but we
Mm.
will have a lyric video dropping. And I said it earlier on, I was shouting at the guys, but that's Kieran Casey of Will Saying Media. I am like an electrical store, man. Plug, plug, plug. I'm
All day.
telling you, go check out Will Saying Media. The man's been with me since the beginning, and just the work he does is just incredible. I've actually seen a little clip of the lyric video, and it looks really, really good, and it really captures what we were trying to do. So looking forward to seeing what people think of that as well.
Nice. And do you want to just quickly shout out your actual Instagram handle? It'll be on screen, it'll be below, but for any of the audio listeners.
Yeah, cool about it. So whereabouts will it be? Can I point that out? No, well, he hasn't.
Point below.
Yeah, Craig Cooney Freestyles, right? Go follow me on that. That's where I post my stuff. Facebook as well is a big one for me. I don't know if anybody uses Facebook, but it's just Craig Cooney Music on Facebook. And then YouTube, all that crack, it's just Craig Cooney. You'll get it all.
Just search it. It will come up as soon as you search it. Don't worry. I know that.
Yeah.
So,
But
talking about the coronavirus thing there, obviously, every musician we've had on the podcast has said the same thing. It's completely screwed everything up. And especially, most of them musicians have been from Ireland and they have been within that music scene. So, do you want to kind of just give what your take on it has been, how it's affected you personally?
yeah, like the first lockdown was like, okay, this is weird. Oh, it's only going to be temporary. And then before I knew it, I was having full blown panic attacks every day of the week. Like it really, really, really messed me up. And um, I had no equipment at home to work with or anything. And obviously with restrictions, I couldn't go anywhere. Um, so it was very, 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 very tough. And when we came out of the lockdown, then I went to the doctors and I was like, "Hey, what's going on up here? Like, am I okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're fine." Like, and so what I released a verse of what I actually went through, and it's probably the most honest track that I've ever done. But yeah, like what helped me was like just taking vitamins, eating well, talking to friends, exercising, bit of fresh air, like and it's crazy because the simple things can really, just reset you. Um, and what helped me as well was like I used to just drive out to the beach because it's within my 5K, and I'll just get out of the car and I'll just walk and I'll just breathe in the sea air, and oh man, it really helps. Like, um, thank God when we came out of lockdown, I bought some equipment, and I got sorted. So I have a little home studio here now, and this time around, um, as crappy as times are, I am enjoying it. Because I'm with my kids, I'm with my partner. I get to make some music and just stay in the loop with everything. So it's good. Like I'm very fortunate to be in that position right now. But for anybody that is watching this video, and obviously we're still in lockdown, and I say it to everybody and anybody, message me if you need to. Just pop me a message. I've went through, my own struggles personally, and certain things work for me, certain things didn't work for me. But look, if anybody's looking for a chat, I want to talk. My DMs are always open. I'm a really, really, really passionate about mental health, and making sure that everybody's happy and looking after themselves. So just know that my DMs are open there if you need me.
Just right, man. That's sick. So, obviously, no gigs, nothing to be able to go on. I assume you're busting to get back on a stage with a microphone.
We got out of lockdown. We got out of lockdown here in Ireland for I think it was like 3 weeks, and we were allowed to do gigs with 50 people, with food and stuff. So then I got a show in Bow Lane, which was class because I hadn't gigged in 7 months, and so let's say show stops at 11:30 that night. At 12 o'clock that night, we were back in lockdown again. So I literally, like by the scrapings of my teeth, was able to gig and get out. But like literally 11:30 came, I was like, everybody go, like go home, like because come 12 o'clock we were in lockdown. So I was very lucky. Like it's only been a couple of weeks now since I've gigged instead of 7 months. And that helped me. Like it was really good. It wasn't even a big show, man, but it was just nice to be on stage doing what I love and just seeing the joy in people's faces, and everybody was happy and having a good time, and it was fun, and I enjoyed it, and I realized how much that I really do miss it. And I'll appreciate it next time when I am on stage again, and just looking forward to that.
So, do you have any big plans or projects you have coming up in the new year? Obviously, you're not going to be able to say too much about them, but have you got plans ready?
Yeah, we've lots of really, really, really cool plans that I am working on right now. Some are ready to go, but it's just like when will we kind of release them to the public, and but in terms of like shows and stuff, there's shows, new music, everything. It's going to be big because it's a new year, and I feel like we lost out on this year, but we had a lot of time to plan this year, and that is a bonus. And we planned a lot of good things this year, so it's just about taking action now, going forward, and just doing what we said we'd do.
So, will we see Craig Cooney's first album in 2021?
You could very well. I don't know about an album, but I think they're like we're without giving too much away, but
Yeah.
I think we're talking about an EP. Don't tell Colin though. But yeah, we're hoping to get something down, a multi-track release, if you like.
Yeah.
We've a lot of good songs there. Some songs I'm sitting on months, man, and I'll show some people, and they're like, "What? That's amazing!" Like and I'm like, when the time is right, we'll release them.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned as well. I used to work on a song, I'd get excited, and I'm like, oh, I'm uploading it now. But like now it's like let's do this song, we'll put that there, do this song, put that there, and when we're ready, then you know, and I think it really helps the workflow.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, oh, if I do get to a stage where I've, you know, I've writer's block or something, I do have, you know, these 5 or 6 tracks here that are current and ready to go. Like, it's nice.
So is there anyone in the game that you would love to have feature on your track, or who you'd love to feature on their track?
Um, I would love, love, love to collaborate with Dermot Kennedy. Oh my God, like that man is a god. um, yeah, I'd love that. He's just an exceptional singer-songwriter. He inspires me a lot in my music. That'd be more home soil. And then if we were going, say, worldwide, definitely Russ. I don't know if you're familiar with Russ.
Yeah.
He's like, again, really influences my music and what he writes about and stuff. Yeah, so they'd be definitely the two straight off the bat. But another one that surprises everybody would be Elton John as well. I'd really like to collaborate with Elton John.
I could
think,
see that.
yeah, he's just ridiculously talented, that man. Like, you know, and he's around so long and he's still current. Like, you know what I mean? He's still doing shows. Man, like if I had that success, you know, to be doing what I loved for that long and still be relevant and respected, that man is a genius. You know, so big up Elton John. Just pop me a DM there and we can organize this.
So, for all these people that are maybe listening, maybe they actually want to get into singing, they want to get into songwriting. Would you have any tips or sort of any helpful hints for people who want to get into songwriting but maybe don't know how to get started or what direction they should be going?
Yeah, I think don't look for approval of anybody else. Once it makes you happy, you do it and you go for it. Like at the end of the day, like life freaks me out, man. It does, like, you know, because we're only here once. Like that's so scary, you know, and that really pushes me to do and utilize the time that I have to do what I want to do. When I started doing music, I would message so many different rappers and singers and artists, and I'm like, hey, what do you think it is? Hey, what do you think it is? And I was just seeking approval all the time. And I, looking back now, I'm like, Jesus, what was I doing? Like, and a lot of people slated me. Like, you know, when I put up videos, people commented and there were bad comments, and instead of me replying to the good comments, I'd reply to the bad comments. And Amy was like, why are you replying to the bad comments and not the good comments? So now, thank God, I actually haven't gotten a bad comment in a while. I think they eventually filter themselves away. But there is times where it gets tough. But what I do now is I always reply to the good comments, and if I see a bad comment, I just go delete, and that's it. You know what I mean? Because I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and you know, if you've nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, you know what I mean? We're all human. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. It costs nothing to be nice. If you don't like a song, move on, you know, and go and listen to one that you do like. For anybody, yeah, that's thinking of making music, just have fun, be yourself. There are good people out there that you can reach out to and, you know, get good tips off. And yeah, I think if you're not having fun, there's something wrong, you know. Just make it fun. It can be really fun, and you can make money and be successful but still have fun, you know.
100%, man. So, any last thoughts other than December live now? Hit the link in the description, go and stream it like right now, and go follow Craig on Instagram. But any final words from you?
Yeah, I just I'm just grateful really, like to be here. And you know, for anybody watching that's like thinking, oh, I'm never gonna get anywhere. Like 3 years ago I was rapping on my couch, and you know, I've played in the Olympia Theatre now. I'm signed. I've, you know, recorded in one of the best studios in Ireland. Met you, Johnny. You know what I mean? Music has, you know, brought me so many great things, and as I said, life is not a race. So just stop comparing yourself to other people. Focus on you. Start focusing on what you do have rather than what you don't have. And I'm telling you that when you get that nailed down, everything else will literally fall into place. Like, it's crazy, man. I've become so spiritual lately, and I'm just like, man, like I look at my phone and I see 11:11, and I'm like, Amy, whoa, I'm on the right track. Here we go, like, But yeah, just enjoy your time. It's you and it's your life, and it's only you and it's no one else. So just make sure you're having fun and focusing on you and not anybody else. That's what I'm all about. I just want people to have fun and just be nice, and just the world's already bad enough, like, you know what I mean? So we need to try and spread a bit of that love, a bit of that positivity, you know?
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, honestly, look, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I know I've been trying to get you on for time now, so I
Yeah.
appreciate getting the time to get you on.
Yeah, no, it's good to be here, and I'm really, really grateful, Johnny. And again, likewise, having you working alongside us, I've gotten to know you on a more personal level, which is class. But I really appreciate all you're doing, and we can see, myself and Colin from our end, how much you're really putting into it, and that it's not just oh yeah, I'll do that and this and that. It is hard work, and I do really appreciate it. And if anybody does ever want to market their music, I'll definitely be sending them your way, 100%.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
No, man, no worries at all. Fair is fair, like, you know what I mean? Credit where it's due. Like, you're amazing at what you do.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Well, that's it, guys, for this week. As we've said, December goes live on the 25th. So if you're listening, it's most likely live now. Hit the link in the description or the card up top. Go check out the track. Go check out Craig on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. All the links will be in the description as always. And also, as always, hit like, hit subscribe. Yes, scroll, hit it. 84% is mad for not subscribing. Get subscribed. If you listen to the audio version, feel free to follow the podcast, leave a review if you like. I do appreciate it, and I will see you next week.
Hello guys, how you doing? It's me, Jack, mate. You've just finished watching probably one of the best videos on YouTube. So why not take a moment to consider subscribing? And if you haven't already, hit the like button and turn the notification bell on. Apparently it helps. I don't know how. It was good to know, wasn't it?